Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to another episode of Nufftingz Speaks with your host, Nufftingz. So, I know I put in the thumbnail, I probably said F Niantic or whatever. I probably said some, gangster stuff like that, right? I want to swear, but I can't on YouTube. I might swear once. All right. So, the reason why I'm doing this video is because, man, I was on X, right? I'm just randomly on there, taking a little break because I'm playing some Deadpool, right? Deadpool for the 360, y'all. So, I see this dude just pop up on my feed, right? And bro, let me tell you, I'll be getting stuff on my feed, and it'll be Pokemon Go stuff, and it's just like, ugh, I don't want to see it, bro. Like, get that nonsense out of my face, low quality piece of crap. All right, so when I was looking, I see this dude. He posts up this thing. And he's like, oh man, I got banned and blah, blah, blah. And he was like sort of saying like, 9 years wasted and he feels liberated type of thing. Like, he's happy, it's made him really think about it and whatever. So I was like, I commented. If you ever see him, you might, see my comment. And I told him, I go, bruh, I got terminated first strike, right? Still don't know what the hell I did. And let me tell you, I thank the Lord that it happened. I hated the game. And it's one of those things where I'm an idiot because I sat there thinking that community was what made it what it is. And people say that to me. They go, hey Rob, it's not the game, it's the community. First of all, that's bull jive. You know it is. Stop lying to me. Like, if we were all Pinocchio, every time y'all said it to me, your nose would poke your husband or your wife in the eye, bro, because real talks, stop it. That has nothing to do with anything. If the community is cool, yeah. But how many communities are really cool? Like, we've heard so many stories about the ambassador program and the bull crap. Like, did you know, I don't know if I said this before, but did you know that there's been ambassadors who have sexually harassed people that they're playing with, like people who they're supposed to be, hosting meetups for, the community, and all that Niantic and Scope, aka Scopely slash Buttface Daniel said wrong, slash Buttface developers. Okay, now, you know what they did? They just, tell them they can't be ambassador anymore. They literally just took that away, but they can still play the game. So you're allowed to sexually, harass people, and that's not termination. It's just you can't be ambassador and be a representative of the country. Oh my God, of the community, of the game. Okay, now, see, I'm a little bit hyper right now. I just want to talk. Yo, so now I'm gonna go back a little bit. So a couple weeks ago, I had one of my homeboys that I met through Pokémon GO. Really good dude. He called me, right? I haven't heard from him since, but he called me and he said that he's thinking. Okay, let me, that was the end of what he was saying, but here's what he said to me. He had said that he's trying to figure out who's going into his area, which I don't know, I don't even know where he lives, and is knocking out the gyms and leaving them empty, right? So he starts saying it might be that gym adjuster guy. And if you've been following me, gym adjuster is this weak butt dude that I had to correct one day. I had to check him, you know what I'm saying? And he was cool. But I hear now that he's been resurrected and is, doing the same thing again. Okay, cool. But that's not my problem. It's not my problem. So I'm listening to Homeboy because this is my boy. Like, we're cool. Like, he's not really my boy. He's just someone I met through Pokemon Go and we got along. But we're not homeboys. We haven't gone out to eat or anything like that. I think we said we were going to. So I guess he's a homeboy. Anyways, moving on. So he says to me that they had a meetup, not a meetup, but they had new people playing, right? There's still the toxic individuals playing, but they're more in the background like they were supposed to be. And then you have these newer players. So he's talking to me and I'm like, oh, that's cool. I don't remember what I was doing at the time. I was probably punching myself in the face. But yeah, like he was telling me that, the new people, they're new, they're green, like Goldberg was when he first came out, in WCW. They're green, bro. They're green as grass. And I was like, okay. So then he's telling me that, he wants to know my opinion because his woman said to him, maybe he should be hosting meetups. So he asked me, right? And I was like, well, dude, you'll be fine. And he's like, why? I go, because you're a big black guy. Like, he's like, what? I'm like, dude, you know how it is, man. You look into, like, he looks intimidating, right? Like, to be honest with you, I'm probably the worst one out of all of them, but I'm old now and I'm not trying to go to jail for nonsense. But, people are funny. And in my interactions with people are hilarious. When you're nice and you don't mess with people, right? People seem, and you don't look intimidating, or maybe you are intimidating, people want to mess with you, but there's times where people just don't know who they're talking to and they just act funny, right? Because there's many situations where I could have went to jail at these Pokemon Go events. Now, can you imagine you go to the bin and they're like, so what you in for? Where the papers at? And you're like, well, I got to a fight at Pokemon Go meetups. Like, they look at you like, bruh, stop it. Like, they wouldn't even believe you. It's so dumb. So, okay. Now, he's saying this to me, and I'm like, well, you're good, bro, because, and also, I notice a lot with this community in particular, anyone that's black of Caribbean descent, the other guys seem to be very scared around them. And anyone in the community can sit there and tell me that's not true. Look, man, I'm Caribbean, and I know a lot of cultures look at black men in a certain way. Like, they don't know what that black man's gonna, do, what he's gonna do to somebody. So, of course, they're chicken crap. You know what I'm saying? So, okay. He's telling me all his stuff, and I told him my opinion. I go, bro, just do what you're doing. If you want to host, then cool. So he says to me, he goes, well, here's the thing, though. If I start hosting events, start hosting meetups, I'm going to have to get rid of the toxic community. That's where the problem is. You're going to now go after the toxic community. Like, I get it, but you can't, like, that was honestly, I wasn't even doing that. I just didn't want them around me. But trying to get rid of the toxic part might be the problem. And here's the thing, though. It might work for him, though. Like, I'm not saying it ain't gonna work. I'm saying the thing is, maybe as a grown man with children, responsibilities, a job, a wife, things like that, maybe doing that isn't really what you should do. And that's what I was saying to myself. I was like, if I could relive what I was doing, I wouldn't even have attempted. Even my boy told me, he goes, bro, the biggest problem that happened was you tried to be ambassador, right? People just don't, that community just does not want an ambassador. They just want to play how they play, and they don't want anybody to lead them. And, that was even what that idiot said on one of my videos, where he was like, anyone being an ambassador, it's narcissistic and they just want to rule people. I'm like, bro, how is that ruling people if that's a prerequisite of Niantic, where you need to do this to get some free perks and whatever? And, it's like, okay. So when Homeboy told me all that, and I gave him my opinion, I thought about it after, and I was like, good for him. He wants to do some stuff. He wants to help build a community. I wish him well. I think that it could work, and I honestly wish him well. Like, I have nothing bad to say. He's a nice guy. But I personally would not do it again. Like, if Niantic were to call me right now and say to do it, they'd have to pay me, bro. And I mean, let's look at it for a second. So this ambassador thing, right? It's structured where you have to take your free time and a lot of times take your own money and do stuff to get people involved in the game. Now, I would think this, though. Like, here's the thing. If Niantic had one of those ideas where, let's say I hosted an event and I'm giving away plushies or whatever, I should get reimbursed. show Niantic those receipts, get back, 90% of it. 50%, not even 50, like 90%, maybe 70. Like they give you back 70% of what you did because you're building them. You're not getting anything out of it. Like, look at it like this. You're doing free promo for Niantic slash Scopely. You're doing free promo without anything out of it, right? Because if it was such a great thing, where the money at? Like, you're talking about doing something that involves your time, your effort. You got to be out in the bad weather sometimes. If you're out in Canada right now, it's goddamn cold and snowing all the time. So can you imagine being out in this and then you're not getting paid for it? Now, then you have the problem where you might get sick, being around other people that are sick, right? Then you can't go to work. You see where I'm going with this? So is it really worth it? To me, no. Me, on the other hand, I was doing it because I had the channel, whatever. But, even after, like, there's been people posting in the campfire about how, Nufftingz was doing this stuff and y'all just ruined it. He was the only person I was trying, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, thank you. That's very nice of you. But it doesn't change anything because nobody wanted that. People just wanted, toxic behavior. Like, look, there's one dude, let me tell you how toxic this gets. There's one dude, right, who I had switched from Instinct to Valor because in my area, there was a whole bunch of Instinct players that were, holding the gyms. Nobody could knock out the gym. So I went to Valor to fight them. He, till this day, never shuts up about it. Like, I haven't played this game in 2 months, right? And yet you're still bringing up this. Like, you're just like, you weren't loyal to your team and blah, 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 blah. F off, bro. Like, that kind of stuff is so silly. Like, grown men, and it's not even the women that do this. It's the grown men with these gigantic egos and small peckers. Like, that's what it is to me. Like, that's what it shows me. It's like, bro, you're trying so hard to be cool. Like, bro, you couldn't just be normal, but you're so offended by someone changing a team that you're just gonna harp on it forever. Like, you wake up, like, bro, you wake up in the middle of the night in hot sweats and all that and go, God, he changed teams. I can't believe it. Like, shut the hell up, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, come on. So, so after Homeboy told me, the whole thing with him doing the meetups and all that, I'm for it. Straight up, I'm for it. I think it's a good idea if he wants to do it. If it feels right for him, cool. Do it. If not, let the community crumble. The community's crumbling anyways. Like, dude, there's people that have left because of the toxicity of the game, right? And like how the game doesn't have any, okay. The community sucks, but the game's even worse. You see where I'm going with this? The game sucks. Like, let's be real here. Pokemon in general effing sucks. Like, come on, guys. Say it with me. Pokemon in general sucks. Ever since I've been out of Pokemon GO, I haven't even played Pokemon ZA. I haven't touched the DLC, and I was a big fan of Pokemon ZA. But now that I think about it, that game sucks. like, it's fine. But do you guys notice that there's really no... Okay, I was showing my son Pokemon Emerald the other day, right? And he thought it was cool, right? No, sorry, it was Leaf Green. No, sorry, Leaf Green. It was Fire Red. And he thought it was cool. He's like, oh, this isn't bad. Yeah, because it's not. Games like that were good, right? The Switch, Legends Arceus was good. Scarlet and Violet, buggy, but it was alright. Like, the games are good, but let's be real here. If you stop playing Nintendo games and played some real games, you would see that, these games are terrible. Like, okay, yes, we know Zelda is always good, the Donkey Kong game is good, right? But if we're going Pokemon, the games are pretty doo-doo. Like, we're talking, like, doo-doo with the capitals, bro. Like, capital D-O-O. Do. Like, the games are terrible. Look at the Digimon game. Time Stranger, way better. Monster Hunter. way better. Like Monster Hunter Story, way better. If you look at some of the RPGs that are out that no one even knows, like there's indie RPG games that blow Pokemon out the water. Final Fantasy games, way better. Like there's games out there that are so much better. Why the hell are we playing Pokemon? What is the point? It's where's the replay value? Like the only thing you're doing is, oh, I'm going for shinies and whatever. Look, man, honestly, that's not even meaning the game is good. That's a hobby. Like you're just trying to be a collector. That's totally different than the game being good. That's like to me, that's just you're a collector. The game doesn't have to be good for you to collect the Pokemon. Get shinies and all that. Same thing will go. Everyone's dry humping each other's legs for a shiny. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dude, why? Like to me, I've never understood the whole shiny hunt thing. Like I get it, cool, but what are you really doing? Like it's a lot of wasted time and money to just go for shinies, unless you're making money from it. Like you're doing YouTube or whatever, you're on Twitch and you're doing those shiny hunts and people are donating. Cool. But at the end of the day, none of you are going into tournaments. I mean, there are some, but you're not going to tournaments. You're not making any money off of it. You're just wasting time. Bro, play a different game. Like, play something else. Like, I'm telling you, Digimon Time Changer, beautiful. Pal World, beautiful. There's so many games that you could just play and get yourself involved in that and be part of a community where you don't have to deal with outside and weird people that don't know how to act and whatever. Like, dude. But anyways, going back to my, beginning of this video. So Homeboy got terminated. Well, banned, right? He got banned. He didn't get terminated. I got terminated. He got banned. I don't know what the difference is. So, I then looked at his ex, right? And he was like he was taking a picture of the band picture, and like he was, putting that out. He was uploading the band picture, and he was tagging Niantic, right? And he was saying, I don't know what I did. Can someone help me? And Niantic just blew him off. And the same thing happened with me. I wasn't tagging them. I actually private messaged Niantic and I said, yo, hello. And they're like, oh, we can't help you with this. You got to, go on their website, which is what I did a million times. And they just gave me automated responses, right? If that's how the company is run and they won't tell you nothing, why even bother? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're better off playing, if you're a mobile player, you're better off just playing a delicensed or an unlicensed Dragon Ball game. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I've been doing? Playing old 360 games. I do have a Series X, I have new games, but I've been having fun playing some old Xbox 360 games. And let me tell you, when you play some of these games, you remember that, bro, during that era, games were not easy. Like, some of these games, damn. They really cut you up, man. Like I'm talking even like oh god, which game was it? Okay, and some of them just run like crap anyways, but they're so hard to play. Like the controls are funny and you have to adapt to controls being different. Dude, like if you play okay, for instance, I played Mortal Kombat Armageddon. That's a Xbox game, right? And a PlayStation 2 game, I think. And bro, let me tell you how fun it was, but you just see how harder the computer was on you. Like the computer took no, you couldn't even bribe the computer to be nice to you. You play Mortal Kombat now, you just run through that, difficulty down to casual and it's easy as hell. Like it's not, there's no challenge in it. And I mean, a lot of these games now don't have any challenge. They're silly. But, them old games will put hair on your chest, man. They turn you into a man. Even the women that play, they turn to men. Like, they just be like, yo, I'm the best. Like, their voice all drops and thing. Like, they be playing the game. At the beginning, they're like, hi, guys. At the end, they're like, yo, what's up, y'all? Like, I'm telling you, bro. Yo, them, like, I'm telling you right now, you know what game I recommend? Deadpool. For the 360. I mean, I guess on the PlayStation 3 or whatever, but Deadpool, so good. I mean, oh my gosh, it's funny, it's fun. the computer does not joke with you, man, it's good, bro. You could play that more than once. It's a fun game. There's a lot of games I've been playing that actually have been fun. So if you ever check out Nufftingz Entertainment, you'll see that I've been playing a lot of games, man. I even been playing the old Saints Row games, and bro, Saints Row 2 will always be a masterpiece to me. Like, I love Saints Row 2. Saints Row 3 is not, like, visually, Saints Row 3 looks amazing, but it's so buggy. When I try to play with my son, he'll like get booted out for no reason, like and he's like right next to me on another Xbox. So it's like, yeah, the online is pretty dookie, but yeah. Anyways, that was my video on, I know I drifted off because why only talk about Niantic? Do they really deserve all that attention? No, they do not. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Like, subscribe, and also comment down below and tell me what you think of how Niantic been running things. And actually, you don't have to do that. Tell me about what games you recommend. Like, give me some recommendations on games that I should play, for the 360 or for the Xbox One. And bro, because I would get a PlayStation, but I'm an Xbox guy. But I will get a PlayStation eventually. Anyways, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.